Hello, I'm Jeff Byers. Welcome to Module 1, and this is Turn-in Instructions video tutorial, which will be placed here. So the first thing we need to do is make sure you have your first and last name on every file. That means your MB file, your FBX file, your OBJ, any of your images that you turn in is really important. That way, if it gets separated, I know it's your file. So make sure you do that. And we're going to take you through the deliverables and the folder structure today. So this will get you all set up to turn in. I know some of you guys always have questions about turning things in, so I always make an instruction video on turning things in. I may not do that later in different modules because they are basically structured exactly the same way. And they may be a little different, meaning that with the food can, I may not want a front and back perspective of a food can because it's cylindrical, and it's the same in the front as it is in the back, so I don't ask for a back perspective of the food can, so that makes sense. But later on you may see that I need a front and back view of the object, so just be prepared for that in later modules. But in this module, you can see we'll take you through what we need to have. So with the first one, the deliverable is to you're going to turn in a low poly and high poly food can as a Maya, MB, FBX, and OBJ file format. How do you do that? Well, let's take you through that process. You have been saving your work. I know you know how to do that. So to save your work in the format that I need, okay, is you'll select both pieces. Okay, so make sure you have your high poly, your high resolution model next to the low resolution model, and make sure you just marquee select both of them. Okay, all right. I would double check to make sure there's nothing underneath, meaning that you don't have like duplicates in there, so you just click on it. Don't marquee select, just click on it and move it, and if you do that and nothing's underneath, then you're good to go. So go ahead and select both of those and go to File, Export All, okay, or let's just click on Export Selection. Okay, that'll just focus on these two pieces that I need to have. Okay, so those two pieces, and we're going to scroll down, and right now under file type it's set at Maya binary, and that's one of the pieces that I need. So let's go ahead and export selection, and what we're going to do is you're going to put your first name, your last name, and let's just type in module 01, and that's all you need to really put down. So your first name underscore last name underscore mod underscore 01 and export selection. Okay, that's the first one. Okay, that was pretty easy. With those two selected, we will go into File, Export Selection, and we will click on the arrow key this time and scroll down until we see FBX, and there it is, FBX export. And this one's a little more involved, but not much, so you don't have to do anything here. Everything should be set right. Click on export selection, and then you get more of a some more attributes here. So you may see something that looks like this, okay, with nothing open. So with that done, what you want to do is you want to click on file types, specific options, and then you want to click on include, and then geometry, okay, and then you want to make sure smoothing groups is on, and smooth mesh is on, and then scroll at the bottom, you're going to see more advanced options, and scroll and you'll see FBX, and you can actually type in or select the FBX format that you want. Now we want the latest version, FBX 2020, so make sure that's highlighted. Okay, that version is highlighted. And then what do you want to call this? Well, you want it to be the same exact thing. I already have mine in here, but you're going to want to type in your first name underscore last name underscore module 1. Now I've already got that in here, but I'll go ahead and save it anyway. So export selection. Okay, so that should export. Alright, the next thing you do is you have those two selected, and you go to export selection again. This time we're going to select OBJ. So you just kind of scroll with your middle mouse button, scroll up and down until you find the OBJ. OBJ export, and this one's pretty easy. Just click on export selection, and I've already done this, but I'll do it again. So your first name, last name, MOD 01, and so you'll export selection. Alright, pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Now if you don't see, if you go into File, Export Selection, and for some reason you don't see FBX or OBJ, then you'll need to go in and go to Windows, and you'll need to go into setting preferences all the way down to Plugin Manager, and this just means that you probably didn't load and auto-load all of these, okay? And so and it's in here somewhere. I'm not going to go here and try to find OBJ and FBX export, but it's probably where you need to actually load it and auto-load it. So go ahead and do apply to all, load and auto-load, and that should take care of it. Just click on refresh, and then try it again. You know, File, Export Selection, and go through that process. You should be able to find them. All right, hopefully that helps you with those. Okay, so when you're done with that, then we are finished with this part. So the deliverables is how do I save those out? I just went through that. And then the student will turn in one perspective full of front screenshot smooth shade of the low and high poly. Now that could be found actually in this video here. Okay, so you'll find it in the lesson 5 video, course assignment lesson video tutorial, and that should give you that look right there. Okay, so you do a screenshot of that, and you want a screenshot of the wireframe on shaded. Okay, that's what that will look like. Okay, and then you'll do a full HD render. Of course, you will watch that video, rendering presentation video, lesson 5, and then you'll do a wireframe. Okay, so what does this one look like? So we've got them all down here as an example. So here's your screenshots, your smooth shade, and your wireframe, and then your rendered full render HD render 1080 of your food cans together, and then you have your wireframe render. And so that should take care of all of these. Okay, that should take care of all these. And then your folder structure, let's go ahead and go through that. So you're going to create a main folder called your first name, last name, NE150 underscore module 1. Let's go ahead and minimize this a minute and go back down here, and we'll take a look at that. So what you'll do is, I've already got it created here. Okay, you can click on, you know, basically I can rename it that way, but you can right click over your desktop and go to new folder, and you will type in the information I need, your first name, your last name, right here. Okay, and that's what that looks like right here. So your first name, last name, Annie, all caps, underscore 150 underscore capital MOD underscore 01. So you'll create that folder, and then you'll double click on this folder, and then you'll right click and create these folders, your scenes, right? You can see that I've done that. You can just right click over here and create a new folder, and you'll create a scenes folder, and then you'll right click and create, and the next one is your screenshots. So you'll click on, you'll create that screenshots folder, and then you'll create a renders folder right here. Okay. All right. Cool. All right. So you create those. All right, and you will place your renders. So if I double click on my renders, okay, then you can see that I've got my render and my wireframe. Okay, if I click on up, I got my scenes. This is where I saved all my scenes, and you can see you can find those and place those pieces in here. So let's go into my documents folder. And if you, and this could be placed on your external hard drive, so you might have to find it there. And if you place it on your computer, then it's going to be in Documents, Maya, Projects, and then of course your Module 1. Okay. So if you go into Scenes, you can see that I've got my folder here called Scenes, and I've got my folder in here, my Documents folder, under my J Buyers Module 1. When I created my folders, I can go into my Scenes folder, and you can see that I've got my looks like my FBX. You can see right here my FBX, my OBJ, that's 3D object, OBJ. And we've got 4, and we only need 3, but we have 4. Well, when we create an OBJ, it creates an MTL. What is that? Well, that is a material that's assigned to this OBJ. So that's basically your materials, like your UV map material, and so that is assigned to that. So you need to have all 4 of those. So you'll need to click on the top one here, and then shift select the rest of them and copy and paste them into the new folder. Okay. Now where do your renders go? Where your renders automatically go, well, where you want them. You can, when you're rendering them, you can place them wherever you want. But normally, if you don't signify or tell Maya where to place them, it will automatically go into your images folder. Okay. So you'll have to place them. When I rendered, I went to my desktop, but normally you'll find your renders in here, your images, okay, when you render, unless you specify, like I did, to render them directly to your desktop. Okay, so that's where you put your renders. All right, so you place your renders in here. If you had it rendered to your desktop, then you take those and make sure you rename them. Okay. Looks like I need to put another F in that one. There we go. Alright, so we've got my renders in here, okay, under the renders folder, and then my screenshots, I just placed my screenshots into my screenshots folder. And that's basically what I'm telling you when you read this, okay, folder structure. So you create a scenes folder, and then you place your completed model low poly and high poly side-by-side food can as an MB, FBX, and OBJ into this folder. Okay, and then you place your screenshots into the screenshots folder, and then you put your renders in the renders folder. Okay, pretty simple, isn't it? All right, so then when we're done, okay, with everything, so you got all that information into these folders, okay, those images, those scenes, and those screenshots in those folders. Then what you do is you will take that folder, you place all your subfolders, which I've done in here. Okay, I've already done that. The subfolders are in there. Okay. When I'm done with all that, and I've double checked everything, make sure everything's in there, then what I do is I right click over it, and I'm going to create a zip folder. So I'm going to go to send to, and then compress zipped folder. And that's going to create this guy right here. Right? So what I want to do is I want to take both of these folders, both of them, and copy and then paste them on my external hard drive. Okay? And then what you'll do, that's as a backup or a flash drive. And then what you do on your desktop here is that you'll open up this, my structure here, and you upload into this module. Okay, so if I go back in here, and I don't know what you guys see, but you know, when you're done, you should be able to upload into your assignment into module 1. So you're going to upload that zip file that you see here, that you created here, into this module on modeling a low poly and high poly food can part 1. You're going to upload it to this folder, no other folder. You upload it into this folder. So when you do that, you should get a confirmation that you've uploaded it, and you're good to go. Congratulations, you just finished and uploaded your first assignment into your Module 1 Part 1 folder. Alright, take care, and I'll see you guys in Module 2.